Sandro Botticelli's masterpiece, The Young Man Holding a Roundel, one of the most significant portraits of any period ever to appear at auction and a defining work at the Florentine Renaissance. This fabulous work here, the portrait of young man holding a roundel, the fantastic work showing on the screens for you here, the tempera on panel. And we're going to start the bidding here at $70 million now. It's 70 million. $70 million now. 70 million. $72 million now. $72 million. $74 million now. At $74 million now. 74. $74 million. $76 million now. $76 million. That's $76 million now. $76 million. $78 million with Alex Bell. It's $78 million now. Thank you, Alex. It's your bid. It's $78 million now. At $78 million now. And against you, Lily, on the telephone, it's $78 million here. There it is. It's $78 million. At $78 million. And I can sell at $78 million now. Still with Alex Bell in New York. Head of the European Old Master Paintings Department. There he is. Another Englishman in New York at $78 million here. And selling at $78 million now. Lily, give me a bid. It's $78 million here. At $78 million. At $78 million. Still with you, Alex, at $78 million now. At $78 million. At $78 million. We'll take your time, Lilia. At $78 million. At $78 million. Here it is, $78 million. Lilia, come in. It's $78 million.
80?
$80 million. Thank you. In a new place at $80 million. With Lilia now at $80 million. And again, a selling bid at $80 million. Still with you, Lilia. And against you, Alex, in New York at $80 million. Here. At $80 million. Give me one more. At $80 million here. Looking for $82 million now. Still with Lilia at $80 million. There it is, at $80 million. Thank you, Lilia. At $80 million. Say one more at $80 million. Thank you, Alex. And looking for another one at $80 million. At $80 million. Take your time. It's Lilia's bidder here in the London studio here. Thank you so much. And you can see them perfectly poised on the screen, the tripartite screen. London, New York, of course, at $80 million. Here again, we have the transatlantic bidding. This fantastic innovation in the live stream marquee auctions at $80 million. Here at Sothebys with the Botticelli, the young man with the roundel at $80 million here. Setting records at $80 million for the Botticelli. Say one more, Alex, at $80 million. Still with Lilia here on the telephone. And thank you for your patience at $80 million. There's a lot of consideration going on at $80 million. Alex, what do we have? $80 million now. At $80 million. It's Lilia's bidder at $80 million. Alex, give me one more at 80. Still with Lilia at $80 million. Give me another one, please, Alex, at $80 million. Say one more. At $80 million, this extraordinary picture. Still with you, Lilia, in London here at $80 million. At $80 million, Alex, are we going to go up? At $80 million, there it is, at $80 million. It's going to be the last chance now, Alex, for this extraordinary thing. And I doubt there's going to be another one coming up too soon. You might want to tell them that. At $80 million, here it is, at $80 million. We're selling it here to Lilia's bidder in London. The hammer is coming up.
Still with us.
Fair warning now, Alex. I need your bid for $80 million. Last chance now. For $80 million, the hammer is coming down, Alex. This is it. For $80 million. Last chance. You want to say one more? Give me a sign, Alex. George, you might have to ask him for a sign. You're out? Yes? At $80 million. Last chance. And selling. Lilia, to you, congratulations. Only at Sothebys for the Botticelli, $80 million. It's yours. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you so much. Paddle number 45 for $80 million. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We can now safely say that the Botticelli is the most valuable old master painting ever sold in a Sothebys auction. And in addition to which, with premium, the final price comes to over $80 million, making this the second work to have sold at this level since we introduced the live stream auction, joining the Francis Bacon, of course, last year from our format 7 months ago, and really proving the efficacy of this fantastic live stream format. Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations, Lilia. Alex, thank you so much. And we're going to move on to lot number 16, of course, the spirited portrayal of a confident Dutch dandy, painted circa 1615 by an artist working in Haarlem.